This is NBC News for Universal Kids. I'm Savannah Sellers, and here's your Week in Review. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Every January, we honor the legacy of the civil rights activist, minister, and leader. Dr. King devoted his life to making sure all Americans, no matter what race, are treated equally.
I have a dream.
Along the way, he preached the principle of nonviolence. This means you can protest something without hitting or hurting someone, and instead use actions like sit-ins, marches, or kneeling. On August 28, 1963, almost 300,000 people joined Dr. King in Washington, D.C. for the March on Washington. This is where he gave his famous I Have a Dream speech, which called for unity and equality.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
Today, there's a memorial to Dr. King in Washington, D.C., and his grandchildren continue his work for equality.
My grandfather had a dream that his 4 little children will not be judged by the color
of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
A 300-mile mountain bike ride in Arizona. Every year since 2012, hundreds of members of the Navajo Nation take on the annual trek called the Tour des Six Hassin. Hassin means hope. Navajo Nation is the largest Native American territory in the United States, with 350,000 people spread across 3 states. Navajo Nation is trying to help people within its community who are struggling with problems making them sad and lonely. So the Navajo Nation Council started this gathering to encourage pride in their culture and remind people that they're not alone, but part of a much larger group.
It's brought a different kind of energy to the communities. There's a bike revolution happening.
For Nigel and Vincent, it helped form a friendship. Nigel hadn't really ridden a mountain bike before, so he was paired up with Vincent.
Getting the flow rhythm, especially when they're galloping, like you can flow with them, and that's how I feel when I'm going down the trail.
And for others, the trek is a way to connect with nature and ride mountain bikes on the same land that their ancestors once rode horses on.
It's kind of like riding the iron horse to check out the land and the old trails that our people used to use way before us.
An annual bike trip to make friends and spread hope. And now, have you seen this? The world's tallest statue. This statue of India's first deputy prime minister is almost 600 feet tall. That's twice as tall as the Statue of Liberty. And it cost $420 million to build the monument. California wildfires. 2018 was one of the worst years in history for these fires. Many people lost their lives and thousands had to leave their homes. Brave firefighters worked day and night to rescue people.
2 firemen came out of this truck, picked me up and put me into the truck and said, "You're okay, we'll take care of you."
Why are there so many big wildfires in California, and why now? California's climate is getting hotter and drier. Higher temperatures and less rain dries out all the plants and trees in the area, and that's kindling for fires. But how do they start? Sometimes it's natural causes, like lightning. More often, it's people. Fires start easily when it's dry. Campfires, burning leaves, or a car accident can send sparks into the air, igniting a fire. And every fall, strong gusts of wind blow dry air through the Santa Ana Mountains towards the coast, spreading fires faster. Firefighters and first responders risk their lives to put out the fires. They drop water and fertilizer from the air to slow the burning and try to stop fires from spreading on the ground.
It's been tough, but that's what we're here for, and we got to keep pushing forward as a community.
So watch as these California communities rebuild. Friends fighting cancer. Meet Lauren, Chloe, Ava, and McKinley. They became friends at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, when they all had leukemia.
Our blood was sick.
Leukemia is a kind of cancer that affects the blood. The medicine that helps get rid of leukemia can make people's hair fall out, and sometimes it's scary.
I was really, really brave.
While the girls were sick, they played together and supported each other.
Ashes! Ashes!
And their moms all became friends too. They even took a special picture together to bring more attention to childhood cancer and celebrate once their cancer was gone. But unfortunately, Lauren's cancer came back.
I was always afraid of this, and my worst nightmare came true.
Even though the other girls and their moms had left the hospital, they all came back to support both Lauren and her mom.
Keep fighting, stay positive, you got this. You know we're always here. We love you.
The girls and their moms are true friends, seeing each other through the fight against cancer.
Never, never give up.
And now, have you seen this? Gabriela Torres uses her wheels to twirl, spin, and dance the tango. She's the first dancer to use a wheelchair at the World Tango Championships in Argentina and hopes to encourage others to pursue their dancing dreams. Fake news. Can you believe everything you see or read? No. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between real news stories and made-up ones, especially online. Fake news is not really news at all. It's information pretending to be news. These stories either have the facts wrong or they purposely try to trick you. There can be a lot of reasons why a person or group might create a fake news story, like to make money or to try to change people's minds about something or someone. The problem is that lots of people believe fake news. So how do you know what's real and what's fake? Start by asking yourself some questions. What is the source, or where is the information coming from? Is it an author or news company you know? Then check to see if there are other sources that tell the same story. Next, ask, why did they make it? Most real news stories try to tell you information about current events and important things happening, but some stories try to sell you something, or make you laugh, or change your opinion. Finally, ask if there is any information missing. Does the story share what lots of people think, or just one person? Do the facts come from experts who know a lot about the subject? Make sure you look beyond a headline or shocking statement. Fake news isn't always easy to spot, but you can be smart about what you see and hear. And now, have you seen this? A cow in the back seat? Now that's not something you see every day. That's your look at this week's NBC News for Universal Kids. Now, go join the conversation.